I am going to miss OG Fortnite. This is the last week that the season will be out, and I have enjoyed every second of it. Whether it's my old friends coming back to the game or playing with new friends and making new experiences, every single time I jumped on, I had a blast. But I also understand that this can't last forever, that Fortnite needs to continue to evolve. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people watching me that are going to disagree. A lot of you guys came back to Fortnite because you knew that the OG island was returning to the game. And look, that is awesome. I was so happy to see Fortnite have a resurgence in popularity within pop culture. But I think now that this season is winding down and we're entering a new era of Fortnite, I think there's a lot to look forward to. But what I'm worried about is so many people getting blinded by negative comments or negative feedback from a chapter that hasn't even come out yet. If it's not OG, we don't want it. And quite frankly, I think that's the worst approach that you could possibly have to a game like Fortnite. Over the last few days, I've been watching different videos from a lot of really good content creators that have been explaining why OG Fortnite has failed in some aspect, or why Fortnite is predatory, or just all these different negative comments about the game. But there's one question that all these videos conveniently forget to ask themselves, which is, did you have fun? Now look, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you that I don't think that there are some aspects of OG Fortnite that have just been objectively better than the last two seasons. As I've said many times, there's beauty in simplicity, and Fortnite OG encapsulates that perfectly. But that doesn't mean that I've hated all the new changes that have come to the game either. For those of you who left the game in Chapter 1 or even Chapter 2, you've missed out on so many new additions to this game that have made it more exciting and more fun. There were some newer weapons that were added which were just objectively better than the old ones. Does that mean that I want all the old weapons gone in Chapter 5? No. Does that mean that I don't think we should be making any more new weapons for Chapter 5? Also no. I think what Chapter 5 needs to be is this perfect balance between the old and the new. But more importantly, what we need to do is we need to give Fortnite that opportunity to give us that. And what I want to say to you watching is, don't be a parrot, don't be a bot, don't let somebody else's opinion become your own. I want you to think this through for yourself. Even when you get to the end of this video, of course, after liking and subscribing to the channel, I don't want to give you the opinion that you need to have. I just want to ask you some simple questions that can help you come to a simple conclusion. I think the issue that I have with the Fortnite community and with a lot of people that give negative critiques on the game is a lot of people forget about what this game is about, which is just having fun. And I can tell that people over the last few weeks have been having a lot of fun. But one thing I've also learned in the last 6 years is that people love to hate Fortnite. I mean, there's a lot of negativity surrounding the game right now. I keep hearing the same arguments over and over again about Chapter 5. The map looks boring. It's just gonna be one big commercial. Oh, we've got Eminem and Lego coming. Epic wants to make money. The game is just turning into Roblox. Let's just assume that it's true. How does that stop you from having any fun in Fortnite Chapter 5? As a matter of fact, some of those things you mentioned might end up being a net positive for the game. If Epic wants to continue to make money, which they should as a billion-dollar company, wow, imagine that, a billion-dollar company wanted to turn a profit, they're going to need to make the game fun for people. And after seeing the success of OG, maybe they'll realize we need to make some vital changes. Once again, Fortnite Chapter 5 needs to be the perfect blend of the old and the new. And for anybody watching this video, this is the first question that I want you to think about. If you did have fun this season, why is it that you had fun? Is it just because of nostalgia? I would argue not, because nostalgia can only hold your attention for so long. Now, the most logical answer that a lot of you guys are going to give is, well, it was the meta, it was the loot pool, it was the map. I'd be lying if I said all those things don't play some contributing factor into the success or the enjoyment that you have with the game, but I would argue more so that it's two other main factors that allow you to have fun with Fortnite. The first of which is very simple. It's the people that you play with. You probably had a really good squad of people to run with. Maybe some of your old friends came back to experience OG with you, and you were able to reminisce on those good old days while also enjoying the new stuff. All of this is OG Fortnite. This is not the way that it was back then. And whether that's because of the new mechanics or really because the player base is different now, somehow you guys still found a way to have fun, even though there's so many sweats on the island right now. And that last sentence there ties into my second point, which is improving at the game. If you're someone that returned to Fortnite because of OG and you actually made an effort to get better over the course of this month, the game is far more rewarding. And I think that's what a lot of people forget about. As much as everybody likes to complain about the sweats, there's something that everyone realizes, even though they don't want to admit it, which is that every video game has sweats. You can't escape that. Anytime a game has been out for a long amount of time, you're going to have skill gaps. You're going to have players over here that are way better than players over here, and that's okay. That's what adds to the fun of the game in many aspects, because it's a hill to climb. It's an objective to look forward to. It's something to strive towards. And although I'm not trying to convince you to be the next Bugha, what I am telling you is that just by improving certain elements or certain aspects of your game, that will in turn make you enjoy Fortnite more. But that's not exclusive to Fortnite, that's with any video game you play. However, if you have a defeatist mentality and you're just gonna throw your hands up in the air and say, well, everybody's better than me, I'm never gonna get good at this game, so screw it, I don't wanna play anymore. Well, the problem isn't Fortnite, the problem is you. And when you go play a different game that has a competitive play style, you're gonna run into the same issue. It's up to you to figure out if you wanna invest the time and energy into closing that gap or staying the same, just getting crapped on by everybody else in the lobby. The choice is yours. And so now that we've gotten that out of the way and you're starting to think about what makes the game fun to you, I'd like to ask you, what is it about Chapter 5 that you think will not be fun? And at the very least, don't you think you should give it a shot before giving up on the game completely? I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that Chapter 5 is going to be really close to OG Fortnite, because I can guarantee you that it's not going to be. But if you give Chapter 5 a chance and start looking at some of the new things that have been added and realize, hey, they've done a lot to change this game over the last 6 years, it might open your eyes to really enjoying it. A lot of the reasons why you were initially attracted to Fortnite in the first place are still there. It's just that they've transformed or evolved in a new way. Now listen, guys, you're not going to always like every decision that Epic makes with this video game. I know that I don't. Yes, sometimes they genuinely make some bad decisions, but even then, there's still a lot to enjoy. I think one of the aspects that I'm most looking forward to is a new map, because anyone that's come back to OG Fortnite and wanted to play zero builds on this map, I'm just going to be upfront with you as someone who's played zero builds for the last 8 months consistently and somewhat competitively. This is not the true zero builds experience. You need to play on a map that was designed for both builds and zero builds. If you're a zero builds player and you've been playing on OG, although it's been really fun at some points, it's not as fun as it was in Chapter 4. Chapter 4 has been peak zero builds. Even when zero builds was first introduced, which was Chapter 3, that map was just a reworked Chapter 1 island. The only map that we've had so far that's been designed for builds and zero builds was the Chapter 4 island. So let's give Epic a chance to make something really amazing for Chapter 5. I know that there are a lot of you guys that really love this game, and even though you're getting ready to give up on it, all I ask is that you just give Chapter 5 a chance. Play it for a few days with some friends, have some good moments, and see how you feel. Don't sit here and try to live in the past of OG, because even if it stays as a permanent game mode, it's not going to satisfy you. You're going to be craving for something new, for those consistent updates, for the meta changes, and Fortnite Chapter 5 is going to provide that for us. So the only question I have left to ask you is, what do you have to lose by checking out Chapter 5?